Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Charles and Vuitton's Good News Stories. So here's our 5 good news stories, and here's story number 1. A plant which had previously been dismissed as not being medically useful could prove to be a hero in disguise after scientists discovered that it stops the growth of breast cancer cells. The groundbreaking research, which could lead to future chemotherapy cancer advances, stars the Anabius thallium, also known as Thale cress. So story number 2. As much as plastics have been maligned in recent years, it's actually a remarkable invention of humanity, allowing us to craft unique materials for essential items and everyday necessities. The problem is that so much of it ends up in landfills and oceans. The best way forward in dealing with plastics today is to create a circular economy in which resources can be reused rather than thrown away. And a new technology developed by an international research team may be the innovative solution to address this problem. In the October edition of the journal Nature, Catalysts announced that they had developed a simple method of retrieving valuable chemicals from plastic waste so that the recyclers may have a means of making more money from collecting plastic waste. So there's some good news. Story number 3. While it's true that none of us get to choose our relatives when we're born, we can have a say in who we choose to call family. And that's just what foster dad Robert Carter did when he decided to adopt an entire brood of 5 siblings. 29-year-old Carter, who had spent his years in an Ohio foster care system himself, knew only too well what it was like to lose touch with loved ones. He entered the system at age 12, and it wasn't until years later that he was finally reunited with his younger sister and brother. The children Carter adopted, whose names are Maronia, Michaela, Robert, Genovia, and Keontae, were living in 3 separate foster homes when he was awarded custody. So that's a great story. Story number 4. Back in 2018, 3M began publishing public attitudes towards science around the world. Prior to the pandemic, a general drop in trust towards science and scientists was showing in the 3M's figures. Then COVID-19 hit the world and everything changed. In their latest polling, the multinational company 3M has found that downward trends dramatically reversed, and in trust in science showing a huge rise since March of 2020. In fact, against the backdrop of the coronavirus, trust in science and scientists is the highest it's been in 3 years since these surveys first began. Story number 5. A study in Finland showed that for the first time that the immune system of children ages 3 to 5 improved when forest undergrowth, lawns, and planter boxes were added outside daycare centers. Dozens of comparative studies have previously found that children who live in rural areas and are in contact with nature have a lower probability of catching an illness resulting from disorders in the immune system, and a lower risk of developing celiac disease, allergies, atrophy, and other diabetes. So there's our 5 good news stories. If there's a story you would like us to share, please let us know. Please give us a heart, please give us a like, and we'll catch you next time on Charles and Vuitton's Good News Stories.